I'm really excited today because it's the first time that we are going to be making a podcast on healthcare. We've been touching healthcare, for many years. We've been active in the healthcare markets for many years in many countries. But this is the first time that we are going to be discussing about the challenges and also the opportunities that healthcare business is bringing for us. And for that, we have today Mr. Thomas Duparque, healthcare BDM in Europe, Middle East and Africa for Zebra Technology. So welcome.
Thank you.
How are you?
Thank you. I'm good actually.
Okay.
I'm really good. Thank you, Francisco.
All right. So it's going to be also, I also used to say this is going to be a funny podcast in English because with my Spanish accent and your French accent, it's going to be probably easier to be understood outside the UK, right? That's going to be fantastic.
Sorry for our UK friends, by the way, but we will do our best.
The French and the Spanish, they will understand, that's for sure. So it's absolutely one of those technologies which is, I'm not going to say emerging, but certainly showing much more opportunities now than 5-6 years ago. In fact, some terms are really showing or appearing in the market only in the recent years after pandemic. So that has changed all our lives, but also has changed the way that we look at healthcare and the way that we approach the technology within the healthcare. So among all those terms, Thomas, there is one which is really, to me, the most appealing, is the smart hospital. So we never thought about the smart hospitals. We thought about efficient hospitals, about nice hospitals, clean hospitals, but smart hospital is one of those terms which is emerging now in the past 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So what is different in a smart hospital compared to the hospital that we used to have before?
Yeah, so maybe first, what is a smart hospital?
Correct.
Yeah, really interesting question, right? I think a smart hospital will be defined as an hospital which redesign or be built based on the new clinical process, on the different patient pathway.
Yeah.
We will talk about patient-centricity later on, but this is also the base, one of the foundation of how to build a smart hospital, and also integrating the difference, the complexity of the different systems, software, and develop the infrastructures of the different interconnected assets.
Yeah.
So this is what, from my view, a smart hospital is, and what is different in a hospital today. So today, what we see it's emerging trends trends, like focus on the artificial intelligence, which is used on the back office, but also into the surgical theaters.
Yeah.
So nowadays we use these intelligent tools almost everywhere. Of course, to help the practitioner on the reading, on the predictions.
Correct.
To give them more capabilities on their decisions.
Yep.
So this is maybe one first trend, one first difference that we have on the hospitals today. The other point I would like to underline is maybe the cybersecurity topics.
Yeah.
You know about
that. Every single place. Yeah.
By the way, do you know how much could cost a cyber attack? Do you have any idea?
I don't know if I want to know, to be honest with you.
So just an interesting data, the phishing or cyber phishing for hospital could be 200,000 euro to give you back all the information that the cyber criminal bring or capture.
Well, to be honest, I think it's even cheap. It's cheaper than what I could imagine. Depends on the hospital, of course.
So it's only it's only the ransomware. It's only to pay the ransom, right, to the attack. But actually, do you also know what is the cost for a hospital to rebuild the system? Or what is the cost of a hospital? For example, there is a CHU in CHU in France, which estimate to more than 600 million euro. Yeah. Million euro to rebuild all the damage caused by the attack.
It's a
so
classical.
It's huge, no? It's huge. So that's why one difference today is really to incorporate this topic of cybersecurity to be able to be more proactive and to protect the data that you are getting.
So, smart hospital is a better protected hospital. That's for sure.
It should be more and more. Yeah,
exactly, because there are dangers today that they were not existing in the past.
Exactly.
That's a clear difference.
And we will talk later that we have an increase of more and more device, more and more asset connected to the hospital.
Yeah,
giving information. So
yes,
we have more door to the world. And the third topic of the difference in the hospital today is the emerging and new technology. So we talk about robotics, for example.
Yeah,
some device, some robot, which bring you more capabilities to operate and to realize also some diagnostic.
I mean the three things you have mentioned, it's really bringing me to the movies that we have seen, right? It's like we know it's going to be happening one day, but we see that there will be a moment that we go to a hospital. It will be a robot asking you some questions and using artificial intelligence giving you a first diagnostic of what you have. So it's exactly what you said is probably happening right now, and it's going to be ending up in what I have said, which is happening there. But I think the most important in this change, Thomas, is really the technology itself, as in any other industry. But technology itself is not a target. Technology is the way around the concept that you have already introduced before, is the patient-centric strategy, right? So technology is helping to be closer to the patient.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it is like artificial intelligence. You will not be treated by a robot and diagnosed by a robot.
Yeah.
The artificial intelligence and the technology will always be the vehicle, right? To help the practitioner to take a decision. And we know that we have less and less doctors.
Yeah.
It's less and less people to
it's
receive
difficult to
you.
get them in the hospitals, right? Yeah.
Exactly. So when you have, for example, we're talking about application in artificial intelligence.
Yep.
The first, maybe one of the first department to using this capabilities.
Yes.
Where the mammography radiology services.
Yes.
Right. So now it's quite integrated for radiology when you can predict, and they prove that you can predict that you will have some probability of cancer in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years.
Yeah.
So I mean, as you say, I mean, the technology is a way to answer to some real challenge nowadays.
Correct. Well, let's go a little bit, let's say, down to earth, from my robot imagination, right? And let's talk about the opportunities within the healthcare, because I mean, most of the people that we are dealing with every day, in our companies, in Zebra Technologies or in BlueStar, is either working with different hospitals or healthcare facilities, or they are serving that market one way or another. So let's talk about the opportunities that the market is given. And I think the first one that pops up in my mind is really the change on the behavior of the consumer the patient, right? It's a complete new expectation from them in what they want to have, in the way they see the hospital, what they expect from the hospital, what they expect from the treatment, and how they want to be treated, right?
Exactly. So patient or the consumer of the service of the hospital.
I'm not sure the consumer is the right wording, right? So, but probably we are used to this word because we work in companies which are serving consumers and customers. But let's talk about the patient. I think is more appropriate.
So the patient is now more and more exigent. This is the main word. This is what we see. So if I talk for me, for example, when I want to take a decision on where to send my boy, if he has skin issues, right, or maybe a surgery in the future, or for me or for anybody of my family, I really want to be sure that I will send it to the best center and to the best surgeon or service and surgeon.
Correct.
So I want to be sure that maybe to benchmark. I want to benchmark the centers.
Yeah.
To benchmark the centers, and once I'm into the hospital, I want to have full transparency. I want to receive the information in real time on where I am or where my boy is during this his process, his clinical pathway.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is where, as a new patient, we have new, maybe expectation, but also exigence now, more exigence than expectations.
Can you imagine that we go to a kind of TripAdvisor of healthcare? Probably it's already existing one way or another, right?
But it's funny because even if the hospital or the practitioner don't want to be rated or rated,
yeah, but you want to rate them.
Is if in the public hospital you write Dr. Pepito Perez, you for sure will find some writing or some comments in the Pepito Perez in some forum.
Yeah.
And now the information goes so quick and is so connected that everybody is rated in a certain way.
Yeah.
So medical advisor, medical trip advisor.
Yeah, something like that. But I mean, it's as you said, it's already existing. So we should not, let's say, deny that we want to be sure as patient that the person who's treating us has got the right rating, right? Rating, I don't know if it's the right wording, but has got the right reputation, right? That's absolutely true.
Exactly.
There are other opportunities, I think, related to healthcare. In every single congress, every single healthcare, I don't know, meeting, you always hear, especially in Europe, in EMEA right now, you hear or you listen to people talking about data management, and how important data management is. And I always freak out because I say, data management is important. What you do with the data is critical, and that's, of course, an opportunity. But what the hell? Hey, the way that you capture the data, the machines you use to capture the data are as critical as the data management, right? Hey, you're an expert in that.
Yeah, exactly. When we talk about data, we assimilate it on the cloud.
Yeah.
On where the data is and where how the data will be processed. But we forgot sometimes that there is an important there is a real importance in how we capture the data, and this is where Zebra technology is also an important player for that. How to provide the transparency, the best technology to capture the right data at the right moment in a really accurate way.
Correct.
Right? And after the transparency of this data is another topic because it's a topic of the hospital and the system providers.
Yes.
But at least everything goes through the beginning, which is capturing the data and how and with which technology, because it's not only a scanner. We have a lot of different techniques and methods to capture the data, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And all that data also goes into a kind of dashboard that needs to be developed, right? And that I hear you talking very often about how important it is to develop the right dashboard to make a good reading of the data that you are generating.
Yeah, exactly. So dashboard is also a big topic for almost all the hospitals.
Yeah.
Because you have more and more data. They are trying to be organized on how to capture the data and to treat it with software, with the cloud, where to stock it also. But you have also to interpret it. And this is where you will see the emergence of intelligence tool giving you all the analytics, the KPIs.
Yeah.
I don't know, KPIs for surgery, for a time, for example, time spent, the performance.
Let me tell you something. KPI in French is what they say in English, KPI, right?
KPI, I'm sorry. I already say sorry to my UK friends.
No.
KPI.
I just want to be understood, right?
And all these KPI really are really important to take the better decision where to focus the investments from the C-level perspective. From the C-level perspective, and also how to bring this information for research and investigation is really important. We're talking about exchanging data cross-border, cross-center, but also cross-border. Having a good data, having a good dashboarding and a good center control of center, it's really key to have a full control on what's happening in your hospital.
Yeah, I think that's one of those things that, again, as I said before, you hear on every single congress, in every single meeting where you meet hospitals. And then you mentioned something very interesting, which represents a real opportunity. Most hospitals nowadays in Europe, and I cannot imagine it's different in the US or in Japan, but they are asking for this kind of dashboard, this kind of data treatment, You also have step before, in a word, which is also very interesting, is the the patient-centric strategy, right? And you also mentioned that, most of the surgeons, most of the institutions are interested also in dashboarding, related to the dashboard you mentioned, data around this, because they want to serve better the patient. Huh?
Yeah. One of the biggest top opportunity, of course, is to redesign their process. And for that, they really, the healthcare workers, the healthcare C-level decisioners want to be patient-focused. Healthcare industry follow the same trends to be patient-centric since 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And now we are also trying to be more accurate on being patient-centric into their journey.
Yeah.
Because it could be the orthopedic journey.
Yeah.
It could be the oncologic routes.
Yeah.
It could be a lot. There is a thousand of different patient pathway into the hospital. And this is what you mentioned, the experience in wards. When you are patient-centric and you are in wards, you really try to bring the best patient experience. How? For example, with some sensors, all the sensors for monitoring, for the SP2, I'm talking in Spanish now.
Yeah, taking into account that you are French, it's a good effort, right?
Yeah. But all the sensors and all the connected devices bring a really important patient experience.
Yep.
It means that everybody will be around you having a control of what's happening to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. And we were talking about smart hospital, but there is also the smart room coming on the top of that. So I will not discuss deeply on the smart room concept, but the smart room concept, you can imagine, this is a room where the patient with a tablet could order his meal and be sure that he will receive the right meal with no salt, with a good diet.
Yeah.
For example, if he is asking for a nurse, or there's a real alert, he will have also the good system to
without
trigger.
having to look for the button here or
to get his own pain and to stay minutes and hours with his pain, for example, or maybe more dramatic, having his ECG monitoring connected and connected to the nurse outside. So if something happened, be able to have a quick answer for the physician and nurse.
Smart room within smart hospital,
Yeah.
You mentioned before IOMT. And it was the first time I heard that,
Yeah.
And I thought is a Thomas invention or is this a conventional term,
Yeah.
I think it's interesting for you to explain what is that.
Yeah, so it's not my invention. It exists from a long time. So IOMT is everybody know about the Internet of Things, IoT, but when it go through the medical device or medical sensors, where we talk about Internet of Medical Things. So this is all the device used for the patient, we use in the hospital. We talk about the IOMT actually, yeah.
No, I wonder because it's every time that we have a kind of new technological term, that we end up using it in many different ways, and inventing things. So I was always wondering, if we are talking about mobility, we are talking about warehousing, now we are talking about that. So I was wondering, is this a real term, that we can really address to the market, etc.? Patient-centric strategy. Do you agree that patient-centric strategy is always or should always be focused on the expectative of safety or expectative around safety for the patient?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, be patient-centric is also be sure that we are talking and we ensure the good patient identification. I want to be sure that I will go through the right surgical theaters.
Yeah.
I want to be sure that they will identify my name on every step of the process.
Yes.
And I want to be sure also for a drugs perspective, medication perspective, that I will receive the right treatment either at the right time, right route, what we call the five rights concept, right? So this is totally at the middle of being patient-centric is the patient safety. And this is where we also, as a solution provider, we want to sensibilize, and we want to talk about patient ID. We have some wristband, and everybody maybe use wristband in a hospital.
Yes.
But prints one and give one to the patient. But now how do they use it? And this is where we have a work to do on going with them, talking with them. Where are you using this barcode? Is it a 1D or 2D barcode? Is it, which information do you have?
Yeah.
And et cetera, et cetera. And with the medication is the same. We want to be sure that we will scan the patient first. We will scan the drug, no alert, everything is in green. Okay, you can take your drugs. This is the good one, this is the right one, for sure.
Wow, I mean, it's just, sometimes it's scary to see or to realize better the big amount of errors which are happening there. So I hope, all this technology being used wider and deeper, into the healthcare area is going to bring much more security. Huh?
And Francisco, just let me highlight that this error could be called the never event. There is a part of this error called the never event.
Yeah.
So never that not can be done as a misunderstanding patient.
Yeah.
It's happened a lot, and in every center. I mean, there is no center in the world which will say we have a zero never event.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
Let's prove it. But normally, there is always some issues.
Yeah.
So technology will not borrow and guarantee ensure that a zero error, but at least it low a lot the patient misidentification or the drug errors.
Correct.
For sure.
Yeah, because we are not talking about substitution of the people by technology. We are talking about adding technology to people. So at the end, of course, there will always be errors, but they should be minimized.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if we're not talking about innovative technology, we are talking about innovation in the process and in the solution.
Correct. Correct. And that I think that's a very good point, because that is really what represents a good opportunity for the partners, right? Telehealth, telemedicine, teleassistance, I have a few questions here. After pandemic, we have seen a lot of action, at least people talking about telemedicine. People didn't want to go to the hospital, didn't want to go to the healthcare center, and I'm wondering if people is really using telemedicine as we expected. Is this trend became a real opportunity in this moment? Is the people happy? What is with the telehealth systems that they are using? How do you see that?
So telemedicine is a really interesting topic, because, as you say, after pandemic, it's not that they choose to the use of the telemedicine platform. They had to. There were no choice, because they didn't want to travel and to go into the hospital to risk to be contaminated. So it was a really good boost for that. But really, telemedicine or telehealth is a way to answer in a specific needs, which is the two things: increasing the demand of the healthcare. We are living more. We are living more with a chronic disease, and we don't have enough workers into the hospital. So I mean, if you decided to go to the hospital for a basic flu, you maybe wait like 2 or 3 hours, and this is not. Whereas with the telemedicine, you will have a short diagnostic or first line diagnostic in maybe 5 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah. And about the chronic disease, there is an increasing life expectancy. Expectative for living with a diabetes or with cancer.
Yeah.
And telemedicine also can incorporate some real-time data.
Yeah.
For example, what we see, it's some glucose monitor connected to the patient.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which are connected to the hospital, which can send some alert. So, I mean, telemedicine it's a lot of things basically, and I don't think at the moment it's because we want to; it's because we need to.
Okay, that's a very good point. So this is why this is an opportunity, because I mean I want to also to progress with this podcast. narrowing a little bit also the speech, right? I mean, we've been talking about what is a smart hospital, why a smart hospital it's on the focus right now. Then we've been talking about the opportunities for our partners, and then you are mentioning the needs. Those opportunities are a result of the needs of the hospital. So let's clear a few things here. I want to talk about the needs of the hospitals, which are probably not well solved or are in the process to be solved, but not enough solved in this moment. And the first one we have mentioned before is safety, right? So safety is still not 100% ensured. And it can, or let's put it this way, it can be improved a lot, right? And I think that's one of the main, if not the first thing that all the partners should, discuss or think about when they approach a hospital.
Yeah. So safety maybe will never be solved, but it's a main topic who have to be improved and work in progress. So the danger here is institutions or hospital, clinic, who are not doing anything to improve the safety. So when we're talking about safety, maybe we can give some examples. Or specimen collection.
Yeah.
When you go to the hospital, they draw some blood. Yeah. So the question is, safety is about be sure that you will identify the patient. You will print, for example, the
barcode or
the barcode at the moment, and you will be able to track the specimen during the laboratory process, right?
This is in our offers of technology to the partners, especially when the people is asking for Zebra solutions. I think one of the most, if not the first, demand solution is around specimen. Traceability, and I think that's critical.
Yeah, that's critical, and this is where we have a lot of solution. But we can provide a mobile solution for the workers, ergonomic solution, to be able to be at the patient beds and to realize the care you need to realize, draw extraction, but also, as we say, medication administration, and to be sure that this sample will go to the right time, and also be sure that the answer or the result of the laboratory will be received on the optimal time for you, not to wait during 2 hours where you can wait for only 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah, there is certainly a need for speed there. Absolutely.
Time is money also, and everywhere time is money.
Yeah, but especially when you're ill and you're in a hospital, you don't want to be bothered, by waiting long times. We all, as patients, have experienced long waiting times to be attended, to be diagnosed, to be treated, and that's really a pain in the ass. And people probably, coming back to the point, that you have touched before, people is expecting those things to be different in this moment, especially when technology is behind.
And we are talking here about, of course, we're joking about the time, but if you misidentify a blood transfusion, the other way, when you extract, you need to identify and to send the blood. If you lost your sample, you just have to go back and again, they realize the draw in the other arm. But if it's an infusion process, if you make a mistake with the blood and the rhesus, it can kill you. So it's not easy.
It's not fun.
It's not fun. Don't laugh about that, Francisco.
No. I don't want to laugh about that. But certainly it's true. The question is, when we talk about other verticals like, transport. Okay, well, I lost my truck. Well, it will be there. So my merchandise will be late. Okay. What a drama, eh? Here, yes, I'm laughing about that, but this is just a way to strengthen the importance of that, because it's like, hey, here we are talking about the patient can be dead.
Yeah.
And that is critical.
Yeah, exactly.
That is critical.
Exactly.
You're talking about different technologies. You've been speaking about traceability, so using scanners. You've been talking about data capture, taking data, so you need good terminals. You also need good printers to make sure that the small barcode is well printed in the
right
specimen, etc. All that
and the right supply.
Who
can resist low temperature? Who can resist?
That's a very good point, and we have treated that with some of your colleagues, especially with I remember with Alex, talking about
course.
paper. and then the importance of the paper and the consumables, using them in the right environment. And for sure, healthcare is one of those.
Yeah.
But I wanna drive your attention to this different technology. And one of the main needs it's also the interconnectivity of those devices.
Yeah.
But every time I speak to you, you always say, interconnectivity is not only about connecting devices. It has got a much wider vision on that. Can you explain a little bit more on that?
Yeah, for sure. So we work a lot with the biggest all kind of EMEA, EHR providers.
Yeah.
So EMEA, EHR, are electronic medical records or electronic health records providers to integrate their system into our mobile phone or into the tablet, right? In combination with a scanner, with the printers, to create this holistic solution for the different needs. But now workers want also, which already use a professional device, which want also to integrate more software, more application. It's the same as on our phone. You want to use your phone not only to make calls today. You want also to use it for Spotify, for WhatsApp, but also for internet. So you choose the application you want to use, and you want to be sure that it will work on your device. So into the professional field, you want to ensure the same, that the EMR EHR will be used with the telehealth platform, with the patient monitoring application, with the push-to-talk or the communication and text messaging function, and so on. So interconnectivity is about how to capitalize around a device, tools, a bunch of application.
So this is where we are going back also to the term that I thought you have invented, but it's not an invention of Mr. Thomas Duparque, which is the IOMT, right? And this is where this concept really makes it. I'm just joking, but this is where the concept really makes a lot of sense, right?
Yeah. So IOMT, as you say, it's increasing. Let's make an example. For example, in the hospital, you're using a lot of infusion pump. Infusion pump, right? And more and more of these devices are wireless or Bluetooth connected. So, they are connected to the system of the hospital, but also connected to the manufacturer. Why? Because it's allow hospital or manufacturer to take action if needs, and also to upgrade some version of the software if necessary. So interconnectivity, of course, it's a needs to unify all these capabilities, device capabilities.
Unify is a very strong word, I would say.
Yeah, it's a strong.
But I know what you mean. It's making all that compatible, I would say, is probably more accurate, right?
Exactly, make it more compatible and easy to communicate it with the hospital, with the manufacturer or the healthcare providers sometimes. To capture more data for the patient. Of course, it's always for the patient.
Patient-centric, it's important. And let's not forget that also assets tracking is important. And it's important, first of all, because it means that the hospital can lose a lot of money if they lose devices every year. But it's not only about devices, it's about beds, it's about chairs, etc. And all that, at the end, means that the patient, again, patient-centric, is going to be better treated than before.
Yeah.
But assets tracking is certainly one of those needs. No doubt.
So, you're totally right. Asset tracking is a huge topic. So just to make the transition with the Internet of Things, all the devices connected. One of the biggest need of the hospital is to be sure that the maintenance of the status, maybe the status of the device is updated. The device is working. And when you have a device connected, you can track it on the platform quite easily. Right? But when you have, but in the hospital, you also have devices which are not connected. And this is where RFID can provide a really, really interesting solution to connect them into the maintenance system of the hospital. So asset tracking for maintenance is a great topic, and of course with RFID you can localizate your asset everywhere. So with that you decrease, as you say, you're more efficient in your purchase. You don't need to purchase unnecessary device because you lose them, or you don't know where is it. You can also find your bed when you need it easily.
It's incredible, but I mean, a lot of beds get lost in hospital.
Get lost, and you don't know if it's disinfected, if it's ready to use, if it's in a good status. Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Also, when you talk about maintenance, I think the predictive maintenance is very important. I mean, all those, let's say, solutions make that your maintenance can only be executed, but also can be predicted. And that's also critical in the hospital efficiency.
Yeah, exactly. It's critical. And again, when you have a new device, it can be easily to read the status of this device, to know where is it, to read the status. But when you are also you want to integrate all the asset of your hospital, and to predict the maintenance of beds, which is as important as ECG patient monitoring monitors, for example, right? So you need something tangible, and RFID make it real, make it tangible, because on the RFID tag you can write all the information you want to. You can write the manufacturer, the years of the years, the last maintenance, who did this maintenance, so on.
Why don't we talk? I mean, you are talking about the maintenance, the assets tracking. We are talking about data control, data efficiency, etc. You've got a very nice experience at the hospital in the UK.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about that? Because that could be also opening the eyes. It's a wider project of interconnectivity. I'm sorry for my wording, and I think that could be also a very nice topic to explain.
Yes. So we have a great case study in Hull University Teaching Hospital in UK.
My colleagues of Hull are going to be enthusiastic of this, because we've got our main office in the UK is in Hull.
Yeah, you told me that.
They should know they have a good hospital with good technology, just 5 minutes from their house.
It's one of our best case-based vitrine, and we also have a case study on the intranet of Zebra. We have published this case study month ago. The interesting story of Hull University is that there is a lot of good story they've done, but one of the good stories is they closed the loop with the RFID technology and the RFID infrastructure for the surgical tray. So they're able now for all the surgical tray to localizate everywhere and be sure that the right surgical tray go to the right surgical theater, and there is no expiration date, which tools. So they also have a better view on their management of all the tools they needs for surgery, actually. So it's a great case. It's not only surgery and surgical tray is only one story, because in Hull University they're also using for all the track and trace of everything with the passive RFID.
How long has it been taken to implement this project?
It went step by step, but it started 4 years ago.
Yeah.
It started with an amazing initiative from the UK called Scan for Safety.
Yeah.
And all the Scan for Safety staff with the staff director Rachel Ellis, which I say hello to her.
Yeah.
She's done an amazing job with her team. Went step by step. They first start with a small service implementing some tags in the surgical tray with infrastructures in only one part.
Yes.
And everyone on the hospital used to say, "Oh, it's so great! I want it also for my service and my department." Okay, so let's extend the infrastructures for the antenna and for the readers, and now they have it in the whole hospital. Of course, we also provide the platform behind that.
Yeah.
With the great tools, MotionWorks and Tagnos, and we have now a great story to tell on best practice.
What I like from that is also the view and the division they have got about what they needed to implement. Right? It's not like one single department goes and say, okay, I need to track the beds on my department. It's not like, I don't know, the Curofan or the I don't know how it's called in English, the bloc operatoire,
the surgical room.
The surgical room. So it's not that they are looking for their own solution. It's like there is a kind of global vision from someone who says all this technology needs to be implemented, needs to be connected, and the whole hospital is going to be improving.
Yeah. And it was really great for them because they also show the ROI, return of investments, step by step.
Yes.
So it what make them really credible or really impactful, their solution. Rachel, we're talking a story during the last HIMSS in North America about the fact that now they are able to recall a product in a few hours, whereas usually it could take weeks, months. So now they have it in place, and they are also seeing more and more benefits of this technology.
That's absolutely fantastic. So again, as I said, I know that my colleagues in Hull, will be very happy to be in good hands there for sure. Why don't we finish talking about the challenges? What is challenging now the healthcare? It's not the healthcare, the technology used in healthcare. And to start, I'm in the marketing. GDPR to me is always like something I need to take into account. The data control. I can send mails, yes, no, this and no. It's always like something to discuss. GDPR is a good thing, but GDPR needs to be taken into account. It needs to be taken, very seriously when you are talking specifically about medical data. So that is a challenge to me to be taken into account. Correct?
Yeah. So GDPR is the acronym for the General Data Protection Regulation,
correct.
Right? It's a good thing, as you mentioned. It's a positive
as a consumer
law, as a not consumer but patient, because it will ensure that the information collected will be used for you. I mean, for your health, for your wellness.
Yes.
And it's really complex because it's a huge challenge to know how to navigate with the data and with the law, how to use it. So it's really a huge challenge for hospital to know how to use the data through the GDPR.
Yeah, there are a lot of probably of penalties that can be applied, especially. I mean, if I send a mail to the wrong person, well, we can be punished, but it's not so relevant. If you send my medical data to someone, I would be very angry.
Yeah, and don't forget also that even if you don't know it, you have more and more connected devices.
Yes, correct.
During your clinical pathway, and all these devices capture some information from you.
Yeah.
So this is again more information into a complex framework. So the challenge of the hospital, just to summarize this, is to draw a framework in how to use the data.
Yeah.
And it should include also which tools do you need to use, because using your own phone as a worker could be a real big risk.
Yes.
For
it's
the
a danger.
Data protection. You take pictures of your patient, of the wounds, for example, with your own phone to send it to the informatics system of the hospital.
Wow.
You can using, I don't know if WhatsApp or to mentioning brands, but it's really important to use right tools, which include also right phone or mobile phone with the right system, protected system, to be sure that the information will keep.
You already mentioned before, security, patient data. I mean, that is absolutely a key element. It's an opportunity, it's a threat, it's a challenge. It's all the three at once. Ergonomics is very important to me. Challenging. We see a lot of hospitals, doctors and nurses using technology they are not training for. they might not want to be trained for, they might not be willing to incorporate, everyone is different. And most of the times doctors are, let's say, are taking because their knowledge in medicine, not because their capacity on using technology. But that should be going together, right? So I think there is a challenge there too.
So there is a challenge. You know it better because your dad is a doctor, right?
One of those.
So we have to understand that, of course, before being a specialist or cardiologist or orthopedic, it takes 8 to 10 years. And during this process, when you finish your process to be the main surgeon, you have all your process on your mind. So sometimes you forget to actualize your knowledge.
Yeah.
I think there is new tools. So to the main danger, I think there is also new tools for the workers, so for the practitioners, the doctors or the nurse, to receive the live training or live alert, or maybe there is tools to artificial intelligence. We're talking about artificial intelligence. Is also tools to help them to be more updated on the technology, to be more confident. The word is to be more confident.
That's interesting.
On using the technology.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
well, to be honest with you, I mean, also as you said, as we have mentioned before, there is a complete different behavior in the consumers, in the patients, and there is also different behavior now in the doctors. The new generations of doctors, they are born with tablets, with applications, with this, so probably they are going to be implementing technology in a much, much faster way.
So it's true. And the interesting thing is that this generation, there is study about that. Yeah. This generation will become the new main doctor of tomorrow. Will take, I think it's about 5 years. So
so short.
Yeah, because they start almost 4 and 5 years ago.
Yeah, you're right.
And so in 5 years, we expected to have a new generation of physicians or specialists, right? So there is a huge challenge during this 5 years windows to try not to push toward the old school doctors, but to bring some nice tools step by step to prepare also the hospital to be smarter for this new incomer. And don't forget that we have less and less doctors. In 5 years, it will be the same. Correct. So they will also choose the hospital they want to work with. If an hospital does not have the Da Vinci, for example, the one who performing the neurosurgery will not sign to work and to perform their own procedure, because it will be trained on the new Da Vinci robot or new Siemens or General Electric devices for diagnostic, for example. So this is my point. I mean, the hospital are in a really interesting moment when they need to prepare the future, but in a smarter way.
That's a good end. I would say the the patient is becoming smarter. The hospitals need to be smarter. The doctors are smarter. So all that is really creating the kind of smart hospital that we are seeing coming on very, very fast.
Exactly.
Very fast. All right. So again, Thomas, thank you very much. Merci beaucoup.
Merci.
And we hope to probably not to use that kind of technology, but if we have to use it, at least we know that we are going to be in the good hands. So of course, hopefully with Zebra products.
No, for sure. Thank you. Thank you, Francisco.
Thank you.